How are you? I'm Jeff Slakey here with Explore Hood Canal, and as we welcome so many folks into our community, not only for this upcoming 4th of July, but over the course of the summer, fires are a big thing that we like to talk about here, making sure everybody in the county is safe. I'm at the Island Lake Fire Hall here, part of Central Mason Fire and EMS with Lieutenant Mark Frazier. How you doing?
Good, Jeff. How are you? Thanks for meeting with me.
Well, thanks for calling me up and talking to me about this. We are on the edge of a 4th of July holiday.
Big weekend.
The temperatures are going to be extremely hot moving into this week and weekend. And so it's a good opportunity for us to kind of remind folks coming in and our folks here who live here all the time about just some safety measures when it comes to the 4th of July. What do you normally see when it comes to these calls that you get?
I, Unfortunately, a lot of time it's human error.
Uh-huh.
We have a unfortunate joke. The last one's always the one you get hurt on, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a lot of time alcohol related.
Okay.
We enjoy fireworks. We enjoy the 4th of July. We love people coming into our community. We want people to have fun, but we need people to have fun safely.
Sure.
Right. And as the day goes on, as the decision-making process maybe gets a little blurry,
Uh-huh.
that's when we generally start to see our injuries. And it's pretty consistent that fireworks and alcohol do not go together.
One thing to make a mention is in the city limits of Shelton proper, there are no discharging of fireworks. When you're in the unincorporated parts of Mason County, which is pretty much everything else, there are times and dates that are available for you to discharge these fireworks. We'll put the links to the Mason County Fire Marshal's office on this conversation as well. But it's inside Shelton, it's outside the county. We're here and we're looking around with trees and power lines, and some of these things that go up, they can get out of hand and get out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, we're looking at some green fuels. Those will dry out very fast, especially the grasses. The grasses and the brush is what we see carry fire. If you get brush too close to a home, that's when we start to get worried, and that's when we really start to see the danger from wildland fires and what we call the urban interface.
Uh-huh.
And that's most of Mason County, where we
Yeah.
have a lot of homes in the wooded and brushed areas. And these grasses will dry out very fast. Just a couple of days and a light breeze, and we see significant fire behavior.
One thing to think about is that this is a celebratory time. It's our nation's birthday, and it sometimes can be hard to, want to be the heavy on these things and put the rules into effect, but they're for your safety, your kids' safety, and for everybody's safety. So when it comes to the little ones that are kind of starting to see this for the first time, how can we make sure they're safe?
So you keep a safe distance. If you can, you cordon off an area that you're going to be doing fireworks in. No kids in that area. You have water nearby, a working hose, a bucket at the very minimum, right? And you keep the kids back. You have responsible adults lighting off the fireworks and making sure that people know what's going on. Lots of communication and overall common sense. You know you're working with something that's slightly dangerous, which I think that's what adds to the excitement.
Yeah.
But the little ones need to keep a safe space because their curiosity, we don't want them in a dangerous spot.
One thing to keep in mind too is to have a bucket of water with you. So if there are any duds or after the fireworks have discharged, you put them right into the water. Fortunately here for some of the folks on Island Lake, they have some opportunities too to make sure that things get discharged. But across much of the county, people will be in dry settings. They'll be maybe camping, they'll be in their backyard and things like that. So having a bucket available, discharging on cement or plywood.
A firm platform,
Okay.
something without any wiggle, without any ability for the fireworks to fall over. That's something we've seen as somebody sets off a larger firework and it goes the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And that's where major injuries happen.
There's a lot of different categories when it comes to the classifications of fireworks. Just outside the Shelton city limits, you'll see fireworks stands that are open. Outside further in the county, there are other stands that sell different types of fireworks. Firecrackers, bottle rockets, and those types of things are illegal regardless.
Firecrackers and any aerial firework
Okay.
is prohibited in Mason County.
We are actually coming up on the year anniversary here this 4th of July weekend on the McEwen Prairie Fire. It was 250 acres.
250 acres, pretty much right behind where we're standing right now towards the Oak Park area.
And tell me about the impact on the resources on the day, as well as kind of people are still working through that fire?
Sure, yeah, still working through that. We don't have a cause available in this exact moment, but the danger is going to be similar this year that it was last year. It tapped the entire county. We brought resources in from across the state. It really wiped out our ability to respond to other emergencies, and that's what happens with these big calls. We have a fantastic county. We have amazing resources, but we have limited resources.
Yeah.
So an isolated large, no, not isolated, but a large incident will wipe out the county's resources very fast. And so with that fire, we had what was called state mobilization, and we brought everyone in from all over Washington state to help us because it was that big of an incident.
And you can imagine then, and then game that out through the course of the whole state, if there are these types of scenarios that happen, it really puts people in risk and in jeopardy. So as we want to celebrate and honor our nation's birthday here on the 4th of July, it's totally an awesome and acceptable thing to do, but just in a safe manner. And it's really interesting too, over the years, how kind of the thoughts have changed about fireworks, and more folks are trying to find those big grand shows put on by professionals, less of those kind of each driveway has their own thing going on.
I think so. I think people have seen the results and seen what can truly happen and gotten smart about it. And there's more shows, there's more opportunity, and really those big shows are just so fun to watch. We think we can emulate that at home, but we just can't.
Just can't.
And so go find that safe environment with the professionals and enjoy the time with your family. And that way you're there together. You don't have that one person out there by themselves being in the hazard zone.
Yeah, for sure. And one more thing to think about too is Central Mason Fire works largely, of course, with all the fire districts in Mason County, but they've got a couple fire halls here in Shelton proper that they can call on if you're outside in different parts of the county camping or recreating. Again, as Mark was saying, any sort of a fire call can really put strains on the resources, and it could take a while for them to get to you.
Absolutely. It's a big county, and there's no straight lines to get anywhere.
No, there certainly aren't. So just be safe here as we get ready for a wonderful 4th of July. And we want to welcome all the folks that are coming into Mason County. The population pretty much doubles here through the summer months, and a lot of folks start here at this 4th of July holiday. Be safe. The great folks with all the fire districts in Mason County will be on hand. They would prefer to have a quiet night if possible. They know.
Don't say that word, Jeff.
Often, did I just jinx you?
Yeah,
then?
we don't use the Q word at the fire station.
I'm sorry about that one. Well, Lieutenant Mark Frazier here with Central Mason Fire and EMS at the Island Lake Fire Hall. We'll put the links from the Mason County Fire Office to make sure you have all the other information too. But yeah, thank you so much for getting in touch with me, and it's an important topic.
Yeah, thanks for the. Just remember, we're here to keep our community safe. We're always available to ask questions. We understand that everybody's going to go have a good time. We're not here to be policing that good time, but we just hope you guys do it safely.
Yeah, thank you.